This is a 2-minute question, starting with Mr. Bob. Lowell Weicker, a one-time Republican senator, suggested in a recent op-ed piece that the Republican Party in Connecticut is headed toward irrelevance. He blames this on the party's adherence to conservative principles and the refusal of Republicans to support what he calls initiatives toward blacks, Latinos, labor, women, and the urban poor. So this question is two-part. One, should the party adhere to the limited government, free market principles that are espoused by groups like
Danbury, we have about 35% Latino, and we're a multicultural community, and we have 49 different languages spoken in our schools, and certainly I understand what it means to win and understand how to run in an urban environment. But more importantly, let me just say this. Where people make the mistake, particularly people like Mr. Weicker, Governor Weicker, is they assume that for some reason our policies and practices don't meet the needs of those individuals. And you know what those folks want in my city? They want safe streets, they want good schools, they want a place to party on Saturday night, they want a place to worship on Sunday, and they want performance out of their government. And if you perform for them, if you deliver the goods, if you create a vibrant economic environment, they'll vote for you every single time. That's why I've won 7 straight elections in a 3-to-1 Democrat to Republican area. So I get it. We just have to go ahead and share those ideas. We got to share that vision with everybody across this wonderful state and explain what we stand for and not always what we're against. And they'll return us to office every time. Thank you.
Well, first I want to tell John French that it can be done. I'm a businesswoman that travels to every large city in America, at the same time winning the state Senate seat by the largest number of votes received by any Democrat or Republican with one of the highest crossover votes. So John, you can do it, and by the way, I got more votes than Don Williams in the last election as well. I absolutely agree with the previous speaker. I think our inner cities are really concerned about 2 things, and that is jobs and education. And in fact, I do resonate with many because I'm an immigrant like many of them as well, and I can still deliver the Republican message of what Booker T. Washington said: the best prospects for our people are education, industriousness, and self-reliance. And that's what you do. You stay on message. I think our party is very healthy indeed. In fact, I see a resurgence. Just look at this audience right here, and we were just previously at Grassroots East, where they had double the number of people there than they had. Right now, everyone understands that this governor and what he's done to the state has hurt everyone from every political party and every economic level. So no, I don't think we need to stray from our principles at all, but we do have to recognize that we do have 800,000 Democrats, 400,000 Republicans, and the rest are unaffiliated. And we also have to recognize that we do have to appeal to a large voting bloc, and that is our women. In the last election, 56% were women. But I think we can do it, and I think what you're seeing here is good representation of our talent. Thank you.
I would have lost a lot of money betting the first question would be about Lowell Weicker. Listen, he left our party good riddance. We don't need to change who we are and what we are. Look, we've all been successful. We've all won elections. Mark got 71%, I got 100%, but we're all good Republicans. We don't need to change our principles and our ideas. We need to do a better job of messaging and talking with people in every town and city across the state of Connecticut. What are some of the initiatives that I talk to? And I've won an award from the Bridgeport business community for my work in making economic development in our inner cities. I've won an award from groups in Hartford for my work on helping people get out of homelessness in our urban centers. It's depressing and embarrassing that so many people in our state wake up without a roof over their head, especially our veterans, and I've tried to help that area out in the inner city as well. Look, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're a small business owner, whether it's your third generation or a first generation, when Governor Malloy raises taxes on your business retroactively, that hurts you grow jobs. People in Bridgeport and New Haven care just as much about that as they do in Canterbury. When you look at unemployment rates, especially in our inner cities, when you understand that unemployment rates among 16, 17, and 18-year-olds is 30, 40%, and you say it's the Democrats by raising the minimum wage who are hurting small business owners, taking jobs away and opportunity away from your kids to get to work. So we don't need to change our values. I already said earlier tonight, I'm the only one who's put together an entire state budget that actually reduces spending in the state of Connecticut. When we balance our budget by cutting spending, we can cut taxes, create an even playing field for everybody, and that works just as well in New Haven as it works in Canterbury.
With all due disrespect, I was on the lawn of the state capitol, 1991, and I said everything I wanted to say to Lowell Weicker. My mom is sitting in the audience right here. Ann, stand up, Mom. And I say this because in 1964, on a school bus in Holland, Connecticut, going to Hicks Memorial School, my mom was pushing for Goldwater. Jack Fowler had a picture on Facebook the other day of Barry Goldwater, William Buckley, and Ronald Reagan. And that's who we are. These hands have worked decades in the construction business alongside minorities in the inner cities of Hartford. My workers were employees, my workers were temporary workers from Manpower, from Labor Ready. Then I went to school with at Buckley High School in Hartford. I'm from the city, from Hartford. I was born across the street from Coles Park. My father helped build this country after World War II. There's absolutely no reason that conservative values cannot be sustained in Connecticut. I've been in this race for 10 months. I've been everywhere across the state. I have not done one press release. I've been talking to tens of thousands of people. And what they tell me is that Republicans can win if we put up the right candidates that can connect to the public. We are already in the street, in the inner cities in my campaign. You can see videos up on my website, Wisconsin for Governor. Because the people in the inner cities have told me, people I know, people I've worked alongside with to this day, that you guys aren't here. You're not here, and we want you here. The Jamaican community, the Dominican community. That's who I am. Conservative values can win. We just need to put candidates up that go to the cities and tell them that we care. Because the minorities are much more Republican than they are Democrats. Just get there.
Well, we're going to add this to the long list of things that I disagree with Lowell Weicker on. I totally disagree with what he said. I, first of all, do not believe that Republicans are exclusive. I believe Republicans are inherently inclusive people, and they're just dead wrong. Listen, in addition to our principles of individual rights, limited government, rule of law, Republicans are also problem solvers. And the challenge is on us to come in and solve the problems in the communities where the constituents he was talking about reside, and that's in our cities. And Connecticut's future is only as good as the future of our cities. So I said on Wednesday when I jumped into this race that the top priority of my administration would be to solve problems of our cities and to introduce an urban policy agenda that addresses crime, jobs, housing, education, and poverty. And those are the things that plague our cities and plague these citizens, many of which are the least fortunate, least lucky people in our state. And we absolutely have a commitment as Republicans, if we say that we're people who want to and can lead, to address the problems of these people. And I can promise you, if we come in with solutions to their problems, and we deliver on those solutions, that we will win them over, and that these will be people who eventually enthusiastically join the Republican Party, and with strong leadership we can get that done. Thank you.
You know, I always marvel at people who live in their ivory towers and live by the motto, don't do as I do, do as I say. The folks like Barack Obama and Lowell Weicker don't merit a response from us. You know, we have embodied the principles of Lincoln and Reagan, and we have gotten results. I was elected 12 times. And the last time I was elected, a couple months ago, I won by 77%. And the reason for that is because when you're the mayor of a city, you have to represent the interest of every Republican, every Democrat, every minority, every independent. When you stop doing that, you are no longer the mayor. And if you look around the state of Connecticut, you will see that the majority of mayors and first elected in our state are Republican. And there's a reason for that. Because they understand what it's like to meet the needs of people. You have to do it every single day. We should never abandon our core principles of being conservative. We need to stand in the street and take on the naysayers. We're able to do that at the local level. Now we must do it at the state and federal level. So I would urge all those candidates to stand by their convictions and fight the good fight, because it's worth fighting for. If you believe in what you are, then fight for it. Thank you.